How big can you print photos from your iPhone? The answer is really, really big. When shooting and when taking pictures, and you do it with your iPhone, you don't think necessarily about printing these pictures. But the truth is, an image that is printed is a finished image. And if you don't do the printing altogether, you miss out a lot, because printing is really, really special. And to have an image like this somewhere mounted on the wall or just inside your hands, then you really see all the details, all which was on this moment, the feeling, everything else. So I really love to print, and I really love to print big. So let's see in this video how big you can print your images from your phone or from any camera. First of all, we have to know how big the files are that come from our camera. And don't get me wrong, camera is everything. A phone is a camera, a real camera is a camera, and everything in between and around these two concepts. You just want something that will capture light and light rays and save them, and then you can take these pixels and print them on paper. So I will now open this image here inside Photoshop, and now I want to see how many pixels this image has and what I can do with this image. Open this image here in Photoshop as mentioned before, and now you can go to Edit, to Image I want to say, and here to Image Size, Command Option I. If you don't have Photoshop, that's totally fine. This is just to examine the pixel size. You can most certainly go with Command I here on the Mac and just see which pixel size you have on this image. But right now I opened it, as mentioned before, inside Photoshop, and here you see the pixel dimensions. So this image has 3024 pixels in the width and 4032 pixels in the height. And what does this mean? Yeah, not so much, but we can multiply these two numbers, and I give this a little bit to the side, 24 by 4032, and now you see this iPhone I use an iPhone 13 Pro, has 12 megapixels, so 12 million pixels, because I just multiplied these two values. Okay, so we know 12 megapixels, but what can we do with 12 megapixels? Let's see how much pixel we need to print. And for the printing, we have to think how big do we want our images to print, and how much dpi do we need, so dots per inch. And why do we even have to think about dpi? Because dpi, dots per inch, is the measurement our eyes, our human vision, doesn't see the certain spots or pixels when they are printed, and that's the crucial part, and be viewed from 30 centimeters away from us. So 30 centimeters is the count we need to know, because this 30 centimeters is for our vision too much that we see 300 dots per inch. And if we know that we have 30 pixels or 300 dots per inch and 30 centimeters away our print, then we can say how big should this side be. And a common rule is that we take the diagonal, and for this I will now open an A4 image. Or I create more or less an A4 image, and for this I go here inside Photoshop and create a new document, and now I go to International Paper A4 with 300 pixels per inch, 300 dpi, dots per inch, or ppi, pixels per inch, and this is the common size where you need 300 dpi. And now you want to know how many pixels these are, so just go to Command Option and I, and here you see when I switch here to centimeters, This is the measurement for A4, and there you see 3508 pixels by 2480 pixels. And these are not 12 megapixels as before. These are just 3508. These are just 8.7 million pixels, 8.7 megapixels. So what does this mean? If you're printing A4 or letter size, you can easily print with 12 megapixels from your iPhone. So let's see how many pixels we have to work with. So I will just take the move tool and move this over to my A4 document. I will just convert the colors, zoom out a little bit, and now you see this frame is exactly the pixels of the image, and the white paper on the back is where we can put our image to print, and we have lots of pixels for A4. I can even trim this down a little bit if I want to see everything. And now I will subsample or reduce the size to roughly 90% of its original when I want to print this pixel information on A4. I will cancel out of this and go back to free transform again, just to see we have enough pixels for printing on A4. Okay, but you saw I had a really big print. I will take the print again. Here it is. And this isn't A4, this isn't A3, this is A2. So 4 times A4. But why do I have enough pixels for this? So let's see what's here inside Photoshop, and I will go in and you have the possibility to see this big and in person. So there is nothing unsharp or something like this. This is a really nice print. But how could this work? So let's go back to Photoshop. So here I'm in Photoshop, and as mentioned before, this is my A4 over here. So I will just go in and type A4 and just make this a little bit bigger and in the background. So this is A4, and here is my photo. And now I want to create not an A4 document. I will just save this so that the name here is also A4. Now I will go in and create a new document, not A4, even not A3. I can't go bigger on this. I have to calculate the size. So here I want to have the width 2 times the width before. And this right now is A2. So I will create this. Now it's landscape. I will save this in a short minute. But first of all, I will go to image, then image rotation, 90 degrees. That's okay. Now I will take the text from here, bring it over to there. And this is A2, like so. And A2. Now I can save this document. So we have A2 here again. And now I will take this image from here, the original image, and bring this over to this A2 sized document. And now you see, that's too big. Or the image I had from my iPhone is a little bit too small that I can use it on this A2 paper. But you saw it before when I hold up the print that it definitely worked. But why was it possible to print in this big size? And why don't we see the pixels? And the answer is that we had a small mistake when creating this document. So just go in and see what I mean. I will go here to image again and to image size. And here we see in centimeters, 42 by roughly 60 centimeters. And the problem is this over here, the 300 pixels per inch, or the 300 dpi. Why is this a problem, and why do I have to think about this 300 dpi over here? The answer is the following. If you have an image printed in A4, as mentioned before, you will look at the image at roughly 30 centimeters away from you. When the image size gets bigger, you don't look at that image at 30 centimeters, you go away. And if it's 4 times as big and A2 is 4 times A4, then you don't certainly watch or see the image from 30 centimeters, you go away. And the rule of thumb is the double of the diameter of the image. The double length of the diameter away is the watching distance. And if you're far away or further away, you don't need the 300 dots per inch. Why? Because the eyes wouldn't see it. 300 dots per inch is just for 30 centimeters. When you are farther away, you don't need that much resolution. And that's the case how you can print images bigger. They get blown up at the process somewhere. And it's no problem at all because you are watching bigger images from farther away. So now let's see how I get this print done. So I will close out here of Photoshop. I will minimize this and I have my image over here. Just if you're curious, the image is a part of the bridge here. And here you see this image. And how did I print it? I opened it in Mirage. Mirage is my favorite tool for printing. There I throw this image in, like so. Then I have to choose my printer. I have to choose the paper profile. I will take, this was the Fine Art Matte. Yes, and now I have to choose the size. And it was an A2 size print. Here you see the width and the height, 42 centimeters by 59.4 centimeters. I want to fill the page. I will switch over to this view. I want to fill the page. And this was roughly everything I've done. I want to center the image on the page. And now I can send this image to the printer via pressing on the print button. And after a short while, the printer printed out this size, this A2 size. And that's no problem at all to start with such a small image over here and then to get this big of an image over there. And as mentioned in the beginning, I really love to print my images and I really love to see my images come to life with a really nice format like here. So I can definitely recommend go and print your images. And if you're now curious how you can print your images, look at my website. So here you see, this is my website, martindörsch.com. And when you scroll down a little bit, you find the courses. And here at the courses, you can click this button or directly here. Now you see you're on the My Courses page. And here you see the How to Print Your Photos course. Just click on this. And here you see the course How to Print Your Photos. This course is all about printing your photos. And the cool stuff is that you can create real products in a digital world and products you can touch, hold in hand and share with others. And I will demonstrate how to know which DPI you really need, understanding DPI. I demonstrate how many pixels you need, how you can work with Lightroom and Lightroom Classic, how to edit your photos inside Photoshop, how to retouch your photos, then how to export or to create your final images and how to send them over, for example, here to Whitewall for a print provider, how to print your photos at home if you have the photo printer yourself, and a really crucial part is how to create the book. Once inside Lightroom with Blurb and on the other hand with InDesign and with Affinity Publisher. And then you have your final prints in hand, and this is a really nice part to know how this workflow works. So if you like this video, give it a like. If you have any questions, just type them inside the comments. If you're a subscriber, thanks a lot. If not, please press on the subscribe button. And that's everything for today. And we will see us in the next video. See ya!